Now, as motoring journalists, one of the most common questions we get is, what car should I get? Pretty obvious question to ask us, right? But of course, even looking at one model, there's a lot to choose from. Take a pickup for instance. Which one would you get? Do you get a 4x4? Do you get a 4x2? Do you get the one with extra speakers? Do you get the one with a fancy infotainment system? That's a tough question, especially when you have a lineup as varied as the one that Ford offers with the Ford Ranger. So what we're doing today is we're going to take a look at 4 Ranger variants to see what each one has to offer and how they stack up against each other. So today we've got the Ford Ranger Raptor, the Wildtrak, FX4, and the XLT. This is Jason Toyo from Top Gear Philippines, and I'm here joined by my fellow editors. So let's take a look at the Ford Ranger.
Hi guys, this is Dre Laurel for Top Gear Philippines, and today we have with us the Ford Ranger XLT. Basically what we're doing is we're trying each variant of the Ranger here today to see what each one has to offer. As far as performance is concerned, the XLT variant packs a 2.2-liter turbo diesel with just under 160 horsepower and 385 Nm of torque. If you cannot afford the more potent BiTurbo version, like the one in the Wildtrak, I suggest you don't try it out because that thing is going to spoil you, and compared to that, this one is going to feel a little bit lacking. I mean, it's fine, but compared to that, again, you're going to notice a big difference. When it comes to features, again, the XLT is the most basic of the 4 variants, but it comes with a decent amount of them. For one thing, the touchscreen information system is compatible with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And there's a rear parking sensor out back, always handy for parking something off this side in tighter areas like, I don't know, mall parking spaces or tight garages at home. The XLT is the most affordable of the 4 pickups that we brought here today. Again, I mentioned that it comes with a decent amount of features, and while the 2.2 turbo diesel pretty much just pales in comparison to the BiTurbo, it's still a decent engine. It will get you up to speed on the highway, and it's more than enough for overtaking slower vehicles. So if you're not really looking for a pickup that's fancy or ticks all the right boxes in the tech department, the XLT is definitely something worth checking out at the dealership.
Hi guys, this is Leander Gesha for Top Gear Philippines, and I'm here today with the Ford Ranger FX4 4x4, the automatic variant. It sits right above the XLT in terms of price, and right underneath the 2-liter BiTurbo Wildtrak variant. Now, I like this variant in particular because it's got basically everything I need in a pickup. It has this capable engine, which is actually the same as the XLT's, a 2.2-liter engine that's not as punchy as the BiTurbo, but it's got all the power you'd ever need. And as for its looks, it has this more macho exterior with those black wheels and all the FX4 accents on the outside. And on the inside, it has these nice red accents, which add to the sportier appeal. Now, in terms of its extra features, it doesn't come with as much toys as the Wildtrak or the Raptor, of course, but it has Apple CarPlay, it has Android Auto, it has cruise control if you want that, it has a speed limiter, and doesn't have a reverse parking camera, but it does get rear parking sensors. Oh, and it does get a manual mode too. So if you need a little bit more pulling power, this is at your disposal. Now, my only gripe about this thing, it's a bit nitpicky. I would have liked if Ford made those blue needles on the gauge red, just to match the overall cabin. So all I can say is that if you're not looking to go further up market and you're happy with the 2.2-liter engine, but you want a bit more pizzazz with your truck, the FX4 is what you need. It's not as pricey as the BiTurbo Wildtrak. Like I said, it doesn't have as much toys as the other higher variants, but it's got everything you need. It's got a comfortable ride, it's got a capable engine, and some extra features come with it. And that's exactly what you need in a truck.
Okay, so we're here behind the wheel of the 4x4 Wildtrak. Now, what I like about this over the FX4, over the XLT, is that it has the same engine as the Raptor. So you get that same Raptor performance from the 2-liter BiTurbo. Now that 2-liter BiTurbo does about 500 Newton meters of torque and a little over 200 horsepower. So you get that same performance. Now while you don't get the same comfort, the same suspension, Fox suspension setup as the Raptor, you do get that same performance, and it performs well on the highway. This of course comes with the 10-speed automatic transmission, same as the Raptor. So you get that nice power delivery in the middle of the power band, and it's smooth. It drives really well. While the Wildtrak isn't quite as off-road ready, isn't quite the toy that the Raptor is, it still sits above the range, above the FX4, above the XLT in terms of performance and features. This of course gets features like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, digital information display, and of course it gets 4x4. Now the Wildtrak of course is true to the Ranger signature in that it has nice handling, nice light steering, and overall offers everything you would want out of a pickup. Now, as I mentioned, this Wildtrak has the same engine as the Raptor, which means it delivers the same kind of performance. And what does a BiTurbo engine do? Does that.
I have a confession to make. When Ford Philippines offered to let us drive their pickup lineup, there was only one pickup I wanted to drive. And no offense to the others, those are fine trucks, but the Ranger Raptor is the only one that was on my mind. And it's one of the perks of being editor-in-chief that you get to choose. And in many ways, the Ford Ranger Raptor is the best. It's not the most powerful, it's about the same power as the Wildtrak, but I mean, look at it. Look at the size, look at the wheels, the suspension. It can easily do the most. And for an asking price of not that much compared to the top spec Wildtrak, but you do have to remember, it's a massive truck. Every now and then, my tire would hit a curb because I forget how wide the car is. And you will get used to it over time, as with that's the way car ownership goes, how pickup ownership goes. To be honest, I haven't driven it off-road, but even in the city, the suspension is amazing. It soaks up bumps, and it has all the modern truck conveniences as well. Nice blue stitching here, Raptor details on the steering wheel, this red leather indicator, the red leather feature, and I do wish the engine were more powerful. It had a bit more of the beast that the OG F-150 Raptor. But you know what? For everyday driving, for going to the trails, going to the mountains, this is more than enough. So if you like the design, if you're outdoorsy type, and if you can afford this, you probably bought one already, or you're already planning to buy one. And I'm telling you, I really think you won't regret it. There's nothing more you can ask for in a performance pickup. So if you have any hesitations or misgivings, I can assure you that the Ford Ranger Raptor does live up to the hype. So much hype about this pickup and so much sales actually. You already see a lot on the road. And if you're buying one, try not to touch the car. Don't change the wheels. Don't alter the suspension. It's more than good enough as it is. So for the future owners out there, we envy you and enjoy.
Okay, so which Ranger is your favorite? Give our video a like, subscribe to our channel, and let us know down the bottom exactly which Ranger you prefer and why. This has been Jason Toyo from Top Gear Philippines, and I'll see you next time.